always say that the only change that I've seen all over like maybe 26 years that I've been there is that I'm getting older. It's very difficult because if I start comparing to all the years that I lived, like at the beginning of 2000, end of the 90s, that I had the chance to live in Ibiza, of course it's very different. At the very beginning in Ibiza, the music that a few of us were doing, it was new, so nobody knew this music. So when we came to Ibiza, most of the clubs, they were playing progressive trance or like New York house. So all the music, more the underground music, was not happening in Ibiza. There was only Sven doing Cocoon on Mondays. There was a few things here and there, but there was not the sound of Ibiza. So when I had the opportunity to go there, I was like, wow, there's a chance to bring a new sound to the island and to show something new to Ibiza. That's what happened. All the years that I was with DC-10 or Cocoon, we were a bunch of people playing a new sound, and everybody was discovering. All the DJs of today, they were on the dance floor, they were listening to this music, and everybody was discovering. So we were creating unity. And what I find today, when I see what's happening now, is that it's exactly the same thing that I lived 25 years ago, but the other way around. Now it's like the main music of the island is this underground, whatever music that there is, and it became the commercial side of Ibiza. So now the only thing that I see is that it's more like dividing people. So that's why I'm not picking residencies, and I'm trying to play for a little bit for everybody, because I still believe that the most important thing is to create unity. I'm getting older. There's a newer generation with newer people, the young kids, that they are living the same life I lived like 25 years ago, and they expecting different things. Yeah. Generation change, TikTok, Instagram, shit, blah, blah, blah. It's a different world. I mean, there is something special about Ibiza, and it will be always special, but I believe that because so many institutions became so rigid and strict and things, and everybody was putting things against each other, so I think the freedom got narrowed. So we used to be able to make parties on the beach with nobody caring. You used to be able to make during the day on the beach, and nobody was really bothered by the things that we were doing. So, and now it's literally you can't do anything anymore. But Ibiza will always be Ibiza. It's like my home. My mom lives there, so one of my kids was born there. My kids, they were raised on the island, so it will always be a special place to me. But it's more about the island. Back in the days, like 30 years ago, when you were making music, first of all, when you were going out of DJing, you had to buy records. And records was a whole different approach of getting music and connection and people and producers. You didn't see faces behind records. You had no Instagram and things and selling. So you were really going for the music. Now people are going for communities, followers and things like this, so it changed a lot. The technology is also like all these new softwares of telling you that you have to mix in keys, or you have to have this synchronized button. For a lot of young producers, it's much easier than what it used to be back in the days. Back in the days it was really difficult. You had to have knowledge of cables, of how to connect, MIDI sync, blah, blah. There was a lot of little things that you had to learn before you were able to produce music. And now, because of computer, you can open a computer, almost press play, and everything is already there, and you just have to add things together. So also it confuses people. Now if I go, for example, and I buy music, and I go on the different categories of music, and I see sometimes deep house, they call deep house things that for me sounds like almost like trance. It completely lost what is the sense of what used to be deep house, like Charles Webster, like François Kevorkian, all this old music that was representing a genre of music, or house music, or techno. Now it's all mixed up, and it's kind of like, you kind of lost tracks. It's almost like music became like a mood today. It's like people want to have an after-hour mood, or people want to have a party mood, or really people want to have a chill-out mood. So it's really different. Now there's so much music going out, and they call it tech house or underground, and they lost the niche or the origins of this music. So it's quite confusing, I would say. It doesn't matter, the VIP, the things, blah, 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 the pictures, the video, the social media. What makes the music living is the crowd, el pueblo, the people in the middle. That's what the music is all about. So if you have a party for the people, then the VIPs, they don't mind, because what the VIPs want, they want a table, but they want to see a club that is full and people enjoying themselves. So I always said suddenly they lost attention to what was the core of the party, and the whole thing on the sides became a huge business. So it's like, you always have to focus on the primary things, which is, it's called dance music for a reason. You want people dancing. I love when I go to a party and I see 1 or 2 telephones and people just enjoying themselves. It's a beautiful culture that has changed the shape and the way that we go out, the way that we communicate, or the way that we gather together. It's like modern church, I would say. Yeah, the dance floors are like modern church, where all young people get together and get to talk, forget about their things. And I think that's really important. It's about not losing this the sense of that. I'm getting slowly into that range of people, like the veteran DJs. But I think, you know, age, sex, it never mattered. Music has never been, or painting, or poetry, or writing, or photography, or music has never been a war of sex, or war of age, or war of, there's nothing about that. It was always about a way of communicating something that is like special. So I think as long as you have this burning fire inside that makes you feel that you are able to communicate something, there's no age, so you can continue as long as you want, I believe, if you are able to transmit something. If you lose this transmission with the people in this connection, then it's time to veteran. The business side became so big also inside, so of course there's an industry of money and promoters and agencies, and everybody's trying to, you know, pull out the strings here in between, but it doesn't really matter. It's like the most important is always staying true to yourself and to whatever that you are putting out there. Yeah? And I think the elder DJs are mentors. My mission as the youngest of an elder generation is to teach the youngest how to actually behave and respect, and you know, it's about mentoring. It's not about like being a legend or being this or being a veteran. It's more about continue this legacy of inspiring younger generation to say like, that's the way it happened, and there's magic behind, and it's about creating magic actually. Clubs will always be present because as I said, there's a younger generation that likes to go out, and clubs are always, it's always like I said again, like a modern church, and people has this need of getting out and going in the night. I prefer like daytime things because I'm also aging, but I've been always preferring daytime things because I have a family and thing, and I believe you can still go out during the day and have even more fun. I think the music even during the day sounds better, people behave better also. There's still culture of sound, of good sound, but I'm not speaking about music, I'm speaking about like technique also, that having a really, really nice room with a really beautiful acoustics in order to listen to incredible music, and that's the responsibility, I would say. Make sure that everybody provides the correct environment, I would say. No, because when I started, it wasn't that trendy. When I started, when I was in Chile, I remember with one of my best friends, that's how it was. We were playing in a room that has no actually access to the dance floor, so we were like basically in a room where you keep the things to clean the discotheque, and there was a hole in the room. And there was 2 turntables, and I remember I was playing one record, and my friend was looking through the hole and telling me, oh, the record is like, people are reacting to it. And then we were changing, I was going to the hole, and DJs, they were not even in front, they hid us. So it wasn't that trendy. Now DJs, it's like almost like they replaced bands, and they can actually take a main stage on a festival. So it changed a lot. It really changed a lot. You know, it's inevitable. My motivation was like, I was at the birth of something completely new, and we were pioneers on a genre of music, and that was my drive. Now today, I'm just like, as you said, I'm getting more into this veteran or elder kind of generation, and my only aim is to keep inspiring the younger.